Hello, Njol here. Hey kids, do you want to do crime? Or do you want to do coke? Do you want to drive expensive cars? Take a dive into a pool full of money? Have luscious ladies? Steal gold? Kill the police? Get rich? And listening to poorly voiced AI Chuck Norris? Sure you do. And that's what Crime Boss Rockay City offers. You are the leader of a gang, you hire people, you have a bunch of questionable henchmen and advisors, a town to take over, people to kill, and in the end the goal is to conquer the town and get rich without getting caught. In order to do so, you need to master the art of avoiding destroying cameras, avoid being seen, avoid killing cops when you're sneaking, and never get into a gunfight unless you can get away with it, or the mission tells you so. Because every cop kill will increase investigation, and once it's reached full, you lose. And you have to escape town while being gunned down by goons all over the place and have to wait for the van. You might escape, but you can't continue taking over the city when you're not in the city or dead. But that should go without saying. So, in order to do most missions, you need to be stealthy in order to survive. And of course, you have the usual. Some people in your team can throw bricks. Bricks cause distraction, and someone will follow the noise. You just sneak up behind them and punch them in the back, and then tie them up with zip ties. And then you have them follow you around a corner and hide them somewhere inconvenient for people to find and stumble across. Followed by exploring the area until you find the security terminal to disable all of the cameras. And if there is an alarm that will go off or a drill that will attract attention, the fucking drill, I hate it. That's this stupid minigame where you need to speed it up, but to stop it at just the right moment, or otherwise it will overheat, and you will hear the voice clip going, "The drill is overheated. Be more careful next time," or something like that. Yeah, I don't really like the voice of Nasara. He sounds very fake. But hey, who am I to judge? I'm here making questionable YouTube videos. Anywho, so you sneak up behind people, you tie them up, you hide them in a corner, disable the security cameras, and then you perform whatever the mission wants you to do. And if it has an alarm thing going off or a noise that will attract all of the guards, nothing will happen if you have disabled the guards. There is only so many on every mission, and unless the mission requires you to go guns blazing, you can ghost everyone. With the caveat that certain missions will be interrupted by gangbangers, and then stealth goes right out the window. As for missions, well, you have bank robbery, more bank robbery, warehouse robbery, train crash, some big heist that gives you net millions, but can be very hard. And then you have, of course, the gang wars, where you take over someone's territory or defend yours. In order to do so, you just need to hire enough people and then take control of one dude and shoot your way through to victory. And once that dude dies, another one will take his place. As for the ill-gotten gains, you just shove it into a bag and toss it out the window and drop it into the van, while under fire or while you are safe. The game isn't too picky. The point is you put it in the van and then you run away. Now, there's another aspect to this also, is that you have a bunch of pre-made characters, a bunch of random characters, and different class of characters that can level up once they reach a certain threshold. And the stats will improve, and you can also give them new weapons. At least in a campaign you can do that. In the multiplayer mode, you're just playing a set of missions, and then you can equip the boss character with a skin and a personality along with a new gun. No, none of the other ones can do that. Anywho, so the idea is that you take this team of up to 4 people and you do a job. Every now and then, the named characters will have a side mission based around their backstory. Yes, there are some one-person missions that spices up the story mode, which is unfortunately not a co-op whatsoever, even though that would be awesome to be two about it to take over the town. While the AI is competent enough when it comes to looting and arresting, it is terrible to rely on in a firefight. Where the fun comes in, though, is that if there's gangbangers about, you can kill them all without having to give a hoot about getting strikes. Because once you get 3 strikes, the police will come running very quickly, and then murder, mayhem, and carnage begins. And the game is not afraid of throwing twerps at you with varying degrees of difficulty. At some point you will probably be overrun by robots, which is also one of the missions where the campaign is revolving around stopping the robot police invasion. Which missions and a couple of the things placed in the missions are usually randomized, so you never know what to expect. This holds true for all of the campaigns. But the thing, though, is everything is predictable in that regard. The guard will always act the same regardless of mission. A camera will always move from left to right, and so on and so forth. So eventually you will get good enough and high enough level that you can breeze through all of the missions and steal all of the territory. Before you reach 100% and getting shafted by Chump Norris, the AI monstrosity. When it comes to music, the game is fairly great. It has some licensed soundtracks. It carries the aesthetic of the 90s with a heavy mixture of diversity, inclusivity and equity character designs, where almost everyone looks like a shitty Skid Row hobo or a gangbanger. And they have different personalities and voice actors that may or may not sound terrible or American whatsoever, but that's just all fun and games. Nothing is like having a mad Russian and a psychopathic steroid lady along with a Spanish chick that looks like she came from an university class. So yes, it is the first game I've heard that has Freestyler as a soundtrack on the radio. No, for the multiplayer you are up to 4 people and doing a set of missions, and that's more or less the game in a nutshell. Is it good? Yes. Is it hard? Yes. Is it unfair? And yes. But keep in mind though, this game is not pretending to be anything else but a first-person shooter about stealth and stealing stuff. So, if that's your cup of tea and you want a cheap but decent-looking experience that runs a bit like crap, unless you have a decent machine and even then it can run like crap, meny is about for right ahead. I'm Njål and I'm signing out. Like, follow, subscribe, and also I have a Patreon. We're working on a comic and such. Links down below. Have a good one.